Really enjoy tutoring others, isn't it? But at the same time, it can be quite a tough job. So if left unchecked, it can cause anxiety, burnout, and it can be really stressful on us. So in this video, we'll be talking about how can tutors overcome the pressures of tutoring, and we will be looking at what are 5 of the most common stress triggers that tutors face. So stay tuned. Trigger is a lack of motivation. We can understand that because the student has been spending the whole day at school and they could reasonably be tired, and by the time they see us, they may not be as excited to attend the lesson. So we can imagine that we are very enthusiastic, we try to encourage them, but we look at them, they are trying to fall asleep. So that can be quite discouraging for us, and at the same time we might start to have all these negative thoughts. What's going to happen to the student? Are they going to stop very soon? So we could be very concerned about that, and those negative thoughts can be stressful as well. So it is good to note that we cannot control the emotion of a student, but what we can control is our own reaction or emotions. So whether we are going to exhibit a positive reaction or a negative reaction, it all depends on us. So if we continue to distribute or to show good qualities to the students, such as patience, encouraging, gentleness, as time goes by, those good quality is going to affect them in a good and nice way, and they'll be able to respond positively to us. The other suggestion is that can we try to be more conversational or more relaxed during the lesson? Probably we need to take a small break, have fun with them a bit, cheer them up a bit. So probably that will help to lighten the mood and help them to concentrate on their lesson. So the second stress trigger is not making progress. So that can be quite disheartening too, isn't it? You try your best to encourage the student and you notice that they are not progressing. You try every trick in the book and yet they don't seem to progress. So what should we do in this case? Should we start to throw in the towel and call it a day? Well, the thing is, our job as an educator, do we have to set a limit on how far we would go to encourage the student? And should we give up at some point? Can we really control a student's progress? We really can if we actually have to physically take the exam on behalf of the student. But in this case, we have no control over how the students progress sometimes. Could it be that we overlook the progress that the student is showing? Probably the student is showing little progress. Probably we overlook it. Could it be that we try to compare this student with other students? Can we really compare one student with another student? After all, they all have different capabilities, different background, they have different ability. So what you're trying to achieve here is to be able to encourage a student based on their own level. So if they are making small progress based on that, we should be happy and continue to help them. If you like to look at some of the ways on how we can help a student to progress, I actually have a video regarding that. I'll make sure to leave it in the description box below. So the third stressful thing about a student is that when they start to show a bad behavior, they refuse to cooperate with us, and that can be really stressful, isn't it? So the thing is that we cannot control their behavior. Sometimes they can choose to act uncooperative. There's nothing we can do about that. But what we can do is that we can control our emotion. As long as we keep on encouraging the students to progress, we show patience to them, we show care and love to them, and we are gentle to them, we are kind to them. As time goes by, we will be able to win them over, and then they will listen to us and sit back, and they will just concentrate and pay attention during the lesson. And the other thing is that when trying to discipline the student, it is good to talk with the parents first, because what we think is appropriate to discipline the student may not go well with the parents. They might feel uncomfortable the way we may propose to discipline the student. So it is good to check with the parents first, and I have this experience whereby I try to encourage my student in the past, and it is actually a British girl, and I noticed that she was just disrupting the class. She's not listening, and she's just enjoying herself during the lesson. So I have a heart-to-heart talk with the parent regarding that, and I mentioned that you notice that your daughter is acting this way, so how do you want me to teach your daughter? Do you want me to be more strict or continue to be happy and friendly with her? And to my surprise, the parent was really happy with the way I treat her daughter. She said, "That's fine, you're doing a good job." So at the end of the day, who am I to argue with the parent? So as long as the parent is happy with what I'm doing, and that is the best thing, isn't it? So it is good to check with the parent to see whether they are comfortable the way we are teaching their kids or their students. The fourth point that can be very stressful is actually high demand parents. So it is important for us to understand what is the expectation of each parent regarding their child, and we have to assess carefully whether what their expectation is it reasonable or not, what they're expecting. And we have to be very sure that we don't overpromise the parents. So say for example that we might just say to the parents, "Oh, it is actually a C student now, don't worry, in 3 months time I'm going to make him A student." So we do not want to overpromise, because that is going to make us stress up and anxious as the days goes by. And in addition to that, I have this comment from tutorful.co.uk. It has a very interesting suggestion here. Regarding how to deal with high pressure parents, it is important to maintain open communication about the progress of the student and the activities you carry out to facilitate help. This will allow parents to feel more in control, sometimes in a good idea to suggest a way for parents to help the student at home. That way, parents will feel less anxious about their child's performance and lessen the pressure they put on the child. And the fifth point that can be quite stressful for us as tutors is when we have a very busy schedule. Of course, we want to be busy because we are making a lot of money, we are getting good income there. But at the same time, it can be very stressful if we don't manage it well enough. So please beware of that, and as tutors, we need to maintain a good routine so that we can keep the stress level at bay. So by having a good routine, meaning to say that we have to make sure that we sleep well, and we need to have regular exercise, as well as having a healthy diet. So that will help us to maintain a very good routine, as well as keeping our stress level at bay. So hopefully this video helped you, and in the comment section, if you can you share with us how do you overcome the pressures of tutoring? I'll be interested to hear. Thanks again for your attention, and see you again next time.